We are live, Instagram. Number 1 Australian ranked 54 kilo athlete Taekwondo, Bailey Lewis, and number 21 in the world currently. If you guys have a question, we're just about to film Ask Woodford, episode 22.
Correct.
I got it right for once. Episode 22, man, now's your chance. He's live in studio, training for 3.5 to 4 years. He is the man. The man. The man. Ask away now.
All right.
Any questions for me? Ask away too. Ask away. Any questions? Oh, anything's happening? No.
Bailey, who's the best coach at WSSC?
Who wrote that? Who wrote that? Just who wrote that?
Jailers.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 22 of Ask Woodford. I'm your host as always, Christian Woodford. Unfortunately for you guys and me, Jared Kay cannot be available today, so it's just me going solo. I'm sure the ratings will skyrocket now that Joe's not involved. Now, episode 22, I've got a very special guest, like all my guests. This man has trained here for a long time. He's a young gentleman of the sport. He's a Taekwondo athlete, one of my favourites. Known him since he was a kid, since he was 15 years old, 16 or 15, I can't remember, 14, who knows. He was very young. He's actually currently ranked in Australia 1 in the 54 kilo division, and he's ranked number 21. Correct me if I'm right.
Correct.
21 in the world in the 54 kilo division. Bailey Lewis, welcome to Ask Woodford.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Oh, very good. That's just a stock answer. Very nice, Bailey. Now, we are going to drag a lot out of you today. Before I start, Marie Lewis, if you are watching, Marie, you're a good woman, a very aggressive woman. I do like you as Bailey's manager. You wouldn't want to mess with her. Would you ever want to mess with your mum?
Nah.
I don't think so. First time I met Marie, I was like, yep, I wouldn't want to mess with Marie. Do you know, Marie, you remind me of my mother. Aggressive as well. That's why I can understand what Bailey goes through. I love you to death though, Marie. If Marie's watching, I think she's a Dale Marie, and she's been good for your career, Bailey. Without her, you're in a fair bit of trouble. So, for me personally, I actually want to can I give a background how I met him?
Please.
So, I actually met Bailey when you were 15. How old are you now?
20.
I can't believe you're 20. It's just because I know you since you were a kid. I met you at 15 or 16? 15.
15, I think.
Met him at 15, was absolutely skinny. Oh,
Well, I still aren't.
oh shit. Was skinny, rakey. His mother came down on reference from Josh Nesbitt. So shout out to Josh Nesbitt who runs the Hurt Centre.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. Can you tag him in this, Alex? Can you tag him?
Yeah.
Where's it at? Point Cook.
Yeah, Point Cook.
Point Cook. Josh, a good kid, good guy. Does the Hurt Centre thing, so it's more body comp. So if you check him out, girls, if you're in Point Cook, got told to come down here. First time I met Bailey came with his mother and his sister.
How do you spell Taekwondo?
Taekwondo.
Oh.
Taekwondo. It's Taekwondo.
Thank you, sir. Continue your story about meeting Marie.
So anyway, Marie came down with Bailey with her other daughter and her other son. And I remember vividly meeting Bailey and saying, how the fuck is this kid good at sport or anything? He was built like a stick. Like literally, I thought you were going to snap in half. She's like, yeah, he needs proper strength and conditioning. Josh has said you're the best. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. He's got potential. At the time, I remember everyone talked, your mum knew that you had potential and your coach knew you had potential. You weren't ever ranked. When I first met you, were just a 15-year-old just going through the sport. And I remember at the time thinking to myself, this kid looks like he'd probably break in half. I don't know what your first thoughts of me were, but those were my first thoughts. Do you want to give me your first thoughts on meeting me in the company?
Oh, jeez. I didn't even know what you did when I first came in, but you're just a very outgoing, loud dude.
Were you scared of me in any way?
Nah, not really.
You weren't scared of me?
A little bit, maybe.
Sure you were scared of me. Come on, you didn't even look me in the eye for the first few sessions. I remember the first few sessions we had. Do you remember when I told you to bridge?
Yeah.
And you used to... So when someone bridges, when Bailey bridges, right, everyone else would normally bridge with somewhat of a glute. Maybe a little bit of a glute. Bailey bridged with entirely his lower back. You actually had no idea where your glutes were. Remember when we started actually using your glutes?
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, you actually know where your glutes are. Do you remember that quite clearly?
I do clearly, yes. Didn't understand it.
You actually had no idea where your glutes were. Literally, you are living proof of how important physical preparation is for any sport. Literally, just understanding, where your glutes are and your awareness around your glutes. And from there, I've trained Bailey for the last, consistently, he hasn't really stopped for 4 years. And he's literally, I've never seen a kid, he just keeps winning. Keeps getting better, keeps getting better, keeps getting better. And I can't take full credit. I think it's a combination of factors.
How much credit do you take to like physical preparation
Oh man, in his
and
sport.
talent?
Actually, it's funny. Let's give your coach a shout out, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Frank, where's he at?
City West Taekwondo.
City West Taekwondo. In your sport, you need good coaching. So first of all, Frank's a good coach. I think a very good coach. Saying that though, you need proper, because the thing for him is, I want you to explain to everyone. Let's talk about your story in the sport first. Let's talk about how hard your sport is, how many times a year do you travel, and what's the schedule like, and talk a bit about your sport. People might not know your sport. So let's talk about Taekwondo. What is it? What kind of sport is it?
Yeah, it's Taekwondo, obviously a
Yep.
contact sport.
Yep.
Mostly kicking.
Yep.
If you want to get up there in the world, you have to travel a fair bit, and Australia being far away from a lot of other countries, it's often, a day flight at least. And what's the other thing you want me to say?
Well, no, just talk about like how you got into the sport to start. How did you get into a sport like Taekwondo?
Well, I guess I got into it because, I was young, 5 years old, and I seen like a demonstration of people kicking.
Like you were 5?
Yeah, I was 5 when I first got into it.
5?
Yeah, a young
I
kid.
didn't even know that.
But I
It's
never
pretty young.
Never really got serious until like 14, 15.
Well, when you started coming here, that's when you probably started going, well, I'm going to get serious.
Correct. And it just looked interesting, and I asked Mum if I could do it, and just stayed with it.
And then talk to everyone about your schedule this year. He flies all around the world. How many times have you gone overseas this year?
Probably about 6 or 7 times.
And that's a long flights. These aren't short
Well,
flights.
yeah, they're long flights, and also it takes a while to prepare for it. I have to lose a lot of weight and have to dull down my training to compete. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's
And
hard
you're in
work.
a bad mood when you're cutting weight here.
Yeah.
So because he has to cut weight, what do you walk around at?
About 62.
Do you want to put that in?
Yeah, it's fine. Put that in.
Yeah, just making sure you want to put that in.
Yeah.
So what you walk around at 62, but then you cut to 54.
Yeah, I like to train at 62 so I can feel my best, and I have room to train as hard as I want.
So you can easily cut to 54.
It's a bit of a struggle, but I can do it, yeah. And I will continue to do it next year.
But then when the Olympics, for everyone to know, they don't have a 54 kilo division, they've got a 58 kilo division.
58 kilo division, but I got a bit of a plan to slowly progress up into 58.
Does that worry you at all? No.
Doesn't worry me at all, because I feel more comfortable at 58. I feel strong at 58.
I was going to say, mate, every time you're at 54, you know the shit out of
Yeah,
me.
bit of a secret plan, but my plan is to go 54, starting next year, smash out a few comps, get some points, hopefully be top 10 in the world, and then go to 58.
So you won't say 54. Wait, hold on. Does that mean if you compete at 58, do you get points for 54?
Yes.
What?
My 54 points go to my 58 division. They combine.
They combine, but if you fight at 58 and you do real well, then you get 54, you get bumped up on 54.
Not really. It just goes to 58, doesn't it?
But you'll be happy to be top 10 at 54.
Yes, because them points transfer to 58. It's a bit confusing, but...
It's just kind of understanding the whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because you travel so much, I mean, with us, our thing is about, in the gym, a lot of people ask us what we do. It's more of a maintenance thing. Yep, cheers. You can come. You want to come on the camera? No, G Wood doesn't want to see the camera. He doesn't want to see the camera. So, I mean, my thing with Bailey is understanding his sport. I didn't understand his sport. So then I remember Marie, who's his manager, showed me videos. I remember watching his sport. Can we put a little video of Bailey up if we give it to you?
Yeah, where's the best place to go find it? YouTube?
My Facebook page.
Your Facebook page. Dude, he has this video of him kicking. Oh, you should see how he kicks. Bro, he kicks. He kicks hard. You know what's funny? I didn't think, looking at him, you'd be like, he's a little bitch, right?
Can we keep that in? Cut that out.
No, we'll put it in. We keep everything in. This is us, Flo. By the way, I've known him for a long time. He's a little girl, but you know what? If he wanted to hurt someone, I've never seen you angry. You're like the nicest kid.
Yeah,
but then when you do get angry, you have to admit.
Yeah.
You know that you told me some stories. You would kick to hurt, correct?
Yeah, but I try.
But try not to.
I'm
But
not a
you
very
would.
angry person.
But in your sport, you're being taught to relax.
Yeah.
Because when you get angry in your sport, that's when you lose control of your technique.
Exactly. Yes.
That's what I learned from Bailey a lot about.
Good listening.
Do you know, I've never told you this, but I've actually learned from your sport and you. You once told me how you said, when I lose my focus and my cool, that's when my technique goes out the window, Christian. Because I used to always say to him, go aggressive, go hard. And he goes, why? Because I want to keep you pretty much said zen, but keep my focus. And that's how I learned from him was like, holy shit, if this kid can do it, I can keep my focus and not get aggressive at everything that happens. Because naturally I'm a very highly strung, aggressive person, but as I'm getting maturing and getting older in business and in coaching, I've learned a lot from Bay from just relaxing. And you always taught me that, which I really appreciate. Is watch Bailey, he just nothing really phases him. I'm like, what about this kid? Oh, be right.
Yeah.
Even when that kid was stirring you up at nationals, you're like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story of like a time where you?
Yeah, can you
like,
use that
controlling
kid?
your emotions?
Can you use that kid who says, I remember they said, oh, you two were going to be in the final. Can you bring that up or no? Before the national final, and the two older guys to each other like, we're going to beat you two.
Yeah.
Tell them that story.
All right, this is going a while back now.
I love this story. This is my favourite.
It was my first senior competition, and it was to go to the World Championships. And I was just a junior. I was a bit nervous, a little bit intimidated to be in that competition. And because I used to fight 45 kilos and then jumped all the way to 54 kilos because that was the lightest senior division. And I was lining up ready for my fight with my opponent, who was also just a junior coming up. And we had the two seniors in front of us, and they turned to each other and they said like,
didn't even look at them.
Yeah, after we beat these kids, two juniors, I'll see you in the final. Like to the older dude, like the two older dudes were talking like that, and I was like, all right, whatever. Then keep my composure, and went through to take out the division. Thankfully.
What I loved about that is, I said to him, for me, I can't hold back. You know me, I'm a kind of a shoot first, ask questions later kind of guy. Like you said, I said, what did you say? He goes, nothing. I just beat him.
Yeah.
And then I started going, this kid might be on something here. Instead of just, sometimes, there's a time and a place for it, as you know, with coaching. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them. But I think he's living proof where you just shut up. I just found it arrogant on their behalf. And then Bailey and this other young kid, he beat the other guy as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat the other guy.
So the two young kids coming through beat the older bloke. So that's pretty much talking about his character and his mental state. How much faith he has in his ability. I mean, for me, watching you as a 15-year-old, this is living proof about how important a holistic approach to athlete development is. Not just doing your skill, the recovery, the nutrition, but also the preparation you do in the gym. Bailey's very strong per his body weight. And I remember you said to me once, Frank said, you were traveling a lot. I hadn't seen you for about 6 weeks. Yeah. And Frank, and this is where I started going, Frank's actually pretty good at, can we tag City West Taekwondo?
Yeah,
that was good. I didn't ask you, I asked him.
Oh, okay.
It's my show. What the hell is this? My show? But I remember when you said to me, and this is where I started going, well, Frank, Frank said to you, you're not strong, you're getting weak. We're going to have to take some time off. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I said, shit, he's right, because your lifts went down, he went weak. And then straight away, can you talk about how important strength is for a Taekwondo athlete?
Yeah, it's definitely very important.
Do you feel the difference when you're kicking as well? Do you feel?
Even when I'm losing weight, I try and make sure I don't lose much muscle. That last couple kilos, I make sure I do it through water and do it through fiber, because having strength is so important. And I can definitely feel the difference when I've lost too much muscle weight and I haven't lost weight properly. I can feel the difference when I go in to compete. My legs aren't as strong, aren't as powerful, aren't as explosive.
How I look at his sport is, if you actually, when you put the video up, look at how he kicks and look at the power he needs off one leg. So my thought process is this, right? Get him strong as fuck through bilateral lifts, because that's a call for high threshold fast twitch motor unit recruitment. Do some explosive work, okay, which is critical, which I've started to do a lot more with him, because he's at 2 times body weight, squat and dead him. Who would think he's at 2 times? But that's the power. Well, I've trained for 4 years, so fuck, you'd think so. But that's the power of the nervous system. And then do your supplementary single leg work. So he does heaps of split squats, hip thrusts, single leg RDLs, all that stuff.
What about rotational
movements? You know what's funny? I've been thinking about doing that with him, but do you know what's funny? Here's out my thought process with him. He trains. Tell him how many hours you train a day.
Well, absolute minimum 3 hours a day.
Off season, like how does it schedule out throughout the year?
There's no off season really for Taekwondo.
Oh mate, there's none whatsoever. I remember having a crack at him once, going, mate, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. So sort of my plan is to slow down. A little bit of off story, but is to slow down a bit over Christmas. So I will drop down a bit in the ranking, but started next year.
What do you mean you will drop down the ranking?
Because I'm missing a few comps, but as soon as next year I'm going like a lot of comps to pick up my points again. But anyways, if I'm 3 hours all the time non-stop, unless I'm like a month out of an international competition, because then I'm losing a bit too much weight and it's a bit hard to keep that high volume of training. But I try to do 3 to 6 hours.
For example, today, what does your schedule look like today or this week?
Today is a Thursday, and because I didn't train this morning, we're going to the club tonight, and I'll train from 9:30, 8:30, 7:30. I'll train from 7:30 to 9:30.
So it's the volume of training. So you talk about the rotational stuff. Yeah, it's important because it's hard to explain because you need to see the video. But he's on a single leg, he's kicking, and he's rotating as well. So you might need to do some supplementary stuff, but my thought process is get him strong in the sagittal plane first, then do your split squat variations which hit different planes, multi-planar movements, and then he's going to get his specific work through the skill, because he does that 3 hours minimum, Alex. 3 hours minimum. He's doing his skill-based work.
Every day.
Every day.
Is that in one session or broken up?
I try and do it. We usually do it in one session, just because it's hard with work and.
Because he's got to work. But saying that though, you get a bit of funding now, don't you?
Yeah, they're helping out a bit.
Where are you getting the
funding? But that doesn't go to normal stuff. That only goes to traveling and competition.
Where do you get funding from?
From yes, mostly.
But it's Taekwondo Australia.
Or Taekwondo Australia.
It's not Taekwondo Australia. You get funding.
Yeah, both of them. A little bit from both.
Both. Yeah. Okay.
I got a question on the cutting process, because so many. I think that's a
he's very good at it.
real practical question. Like, you're young, you're still growing, brain and body. How do you cut your body weight in a safe way without playing too much detriment to your growth?
Yeah. Well, it's actually really funny, surprising. When I was cutting the most for 45 kilos, when I was about 16, 17, going for the Commonwealth Championships, it's actually when I grew the most. So I guess just working closely with like good dietitians, and obviously the senior athletes helped me learn a lot about dieting. But I guess just eating healthy and not eating into too much muscle, just keeping a healthy diet, and then losing that last bit through water, like safely, 1.5 kilos depending on your weight, safely, and then like a bit of fiber, the excess fiber you got in your body, I guess is just how I do it. I'm not really sure if it's super healthy, but I guess it is. It's working.
You have worked.
I have worked with some when I was younger, but I guess I sort of know now what I like, all this needs to know, and also like the other athletes in Australia, the older ones, they help me out a fair bit to teach me.
So who's your team around you? Is your mum, your manager? Frank's your head coach.
Yeah.
I'm your performance coach.
Correct.
Who's the most important though?
Oh, it's hard to say. Probably, it's a bit of a battle between everyone, I reckon.
Oh, mate, I feel bad for Bailey sometimes. You've got 3 people who just try to... Yeah. No, we're all pretty good. I think we all know our role. The good thing is everyone knows their roles, which is good. I've still got to meet Frank. I've got to meet his coach.
He wants to meet up soon.
Yeah, no, he seems like a real good guy. And the funny thing is, as I said, I keep bringing this up. That day you said that to me, like, at least this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Because when you started, I didn't see you for 6 weeks. I'm like, mate, we've got to get you stronger. He loses. The thing is, when you're flying, mate, and you're constantly travelling, it's hard to eat right, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And you're in your suitcase the whole time.
Yeah, seriously.
So this is where it's funny when people talk about the athlete being, perfect scenario. Yeah. I auto-regulate for him every session just because I don't know where he's at. Hips or hamstring, this, that, so I've got you can't. He's like a footballer, but he plays sport 52 weeks a year, pretty much. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard sport. Questions?
Yeah, Instagram Live.
Here we go.
Jaden Kelly, what is Bailey's end goal regarding Taekwondo? Will we see him in the UFC one day?
Oh, no way.
No, he can't. Can you? You know why he couldn't go UFC? Too nice.
Yeah,
you couldn't do it, could you?
I think it's too brutal. I can't even watch it that much.
Why do you think you can't?
Well, there's no Taekwondos in the UFC.
I'm not much of a puncher, really. Not much of a street fight. I think it's pretty brutal. Like my sport, I don't go in and think I'm going to punch on with this guy. Like it's going to be a hard fight. Think more about like technique and placement of the foot. You don't really get kicked hard. You don't really get hurt. I guess you get an unlucky face kick every now and then.
Oh, come on, that's a lie. You've told me before.
You get a couple unlucky face kicks every now and then, but it's not like in UFC you're guaranteed a punch in the face. Or a concussion. Like you walk in there guaranteed a punch in the face. So UFC, out the story for me. I guess I just want to go to the Olympics, win a medal, and then set myself up for a future career.
What would you do in the future?
Well, what is the end? He's asking, like, what is the
end? What's the end goal? We all know.
Well, after the Olympics, I'm hoping to open up my own club and,
Wait, where would it be though?
Near me in the western suburbs.
Would that... What about Frank?
No, Frank will help me out for sure. We'll work closely together. And then, but I'll be doing a bit more new tech stuff and try and change the sport a little bit.
Changing the game.
Make Taekwondo a little bit more popular in Australia.
Can you help with the S&C in Taekwondo as well? Maybe we can open a Woodford's out there or something so we can help him out. I've tried that before. Oh, mate, we all know I don't like training, but you know what?
There was one in the West.
What?
There was one in
the West. Yeah, I know, I just realised that. That's how much I know about my own company. Actually, I reckon the way he's going, it's great to watch. 15 years old, just keep getting better. The plan was, I think I told, we had a chat, early next year we want to be top 10 in 54, yes?
Yeah.
I remember talking to your mum about this. Yep. Top 10 in 54. You've been number 1 in Australia for how long?
Since since I've just started senior, 16 years old or something.
So why is the gap so far between you and the other kids?
In Australia?
What are you doing differently?
Well, in Australia, there's a few things. I don't know how much I want to take a dig at it, but guess we don't really.
What are you doing differently? I'm kidding. Taking the piss, just a joke. Not really.
Yeah, so I guess Australia we don't travel as much. We don't really have that many athletes, and I guess the coaching isn't as good, and the coaches aren't as experienced as a lot of international coaches. So yeah, Australia is a bit behind. I can't really tell you why, to be honest.
So what's the top 10 like at 54? Because you nearly beat the number one guy in the world.
Yeah.
So tell everyone about that. You nearly beat the number one guy in the world. You just lost to him. How did you feel about that?
Well,
that must have given you confidence, saying, "Fuck, I'm in here."
Yeah.
Do you know if you won that? Just quickly before he says it, I said to Bailey when I first met him, when he was destined to be number one in the world, when he becomes number one in the world, I'm going to plaster the number one all-around Woodford. I promise him we'll do it, and I will do it. So you guys will see it. Hopefully we can film it as well.
Yeah.
Go tell your story. Oh yeah, shit. Can we get a Lewis one as well when he becomes? All right, how about this? When you become number one, we'll do a special Bailey Lewis shirt. That's fine.
Sounds good.
I'll do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a Wood shirt. I'm pretty sure we can hook up a Lewis.
I don't
that
think I'll
actually
wear
means something because you are number one.
I don't think I'd wear it though. Number one shirt.
I'll wear it. I'm sure fucking Alex would wear it. Why the fuck not? I'll wear it. I'd wear Lewis number one. I'm sure your mother would wear it. Anyway, go on. Yes, go do story.
What's
the number one? Hey, you nearly beat the number one in the world.
Yeah. Well, I guess in that top 10 range, in the top 10, it's anyone's day can be anyone's competition. Yeah, exactly. It depends how you fight on the day, and I guess I just had a good day and maybe was fighting a little bit off. I don't really know, but
was he good?
He's definitely good, yeah. But like I said before, traveling helps a lot. I'm not saying he's not a good competitor, but this boy in this scenario that I almost bet, he travels a lot and he goes out and he has a lot of experience.
Where's he from?
He's from Ireland.
He's from Ireland?
So he's close to them European countries.
He's from Ireland?
Yeah.
I thought they were all Taiwan, South Korea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a bit weird. And you're from Australia, so...
Yeah. He competes a lot. That's where he gets a lot of his points.
Oh, is that why?
But he's also a good athlete with lots of experience.
How old is he?
He's, I think he's my age, 19,
Well, did
20.
this guy go to the Rio Olympics?
He didn't go to the Rio Olympics, no, because when the Rio Olympics was on, we were both young athletes, just coming up the ranks.
Is he still number one in the world now?
No, he's 4 maybe. He's still in that top 5 bracket though.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
So, what's he ranked 58?
In 58, in the top 16, I know that much because he went to the Grand Prix final. But yeah, I'm not sure what his exact ranking is. But yeah, he'll be a competitor at the 2020 Olympics most likely.
So he'll definitely go to the 2020 Olympics?
Surely, most likely.
What do you have to do to get to the 2020?
I was going to ask you, what are you going to do?
It's a complex process and it's a little bit difficult, but first of all, you've got to be pretty highly ranked in the world, like top 16 or something, and then you have a qualification in your region. So all the people in Oceania in 58 kilos, if your country picks you, sorry, I should have said this part first, your country picks 2 males, 2 females who are ranked high in the world, and then you got to go compete for your spot, and then in your regions. So the top, So in Oceania, you bring 1, in the Asian region, they can bring 2, and yes, sort of like that. Then a couple athletes get sort of let in by wild cards and a refugee spot, but yeah, it's hard to get in.
You'll get in though.
Hopefully, yeah, in a good region for it.
Well, surely anyone in New Zealand any good?
Nah, in the Oceanic region isn't very good. However, there's a bit of a debate about moving us up into the Asian region, which will make it a little bit harder, but I can still do it.
What about the older guys who are still left at the old Olympics?
Yeah.
Who might still be hanging around?
Yeah. Well, that's
now. Let's say they still hang around.
Yeah.
What are you gonna have to beat them?
Well, yeah. Hopefully, I can show my talent and show that I'm up there and I'm willing to take it up to them.
Yep.
And I'm always looking forward to that. I'm happy for the athletes to hang around that are a bit older because it gives me a bit of a challenge and
it's not going to be an easy road if they stay hanging around because these guys are who made your sport.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, but I think you can beat them, and I think you're the perfect age now. I mean, when do they start qualifying? When does it all start?
For the Olympics?
Yeah.
About 2 years' time, you'll start knowing what's going on and who's going to be on the team.
Mate, I'll be honest with you. When you do go to the Olympics, I'll cry. It sounds stupid, but I've known him for ages. It'll be fucking brilliant. I've got a fair few. We've got Campbell Somerville actually next week on this show. You know, Heath Davidson we've had. He went to the Paralympics, won the gold medal. Bailey Lewis going to go to the Olympics, and then we've got Campbell qualified. I forgot to tell you for the Commonwealth Games. That's I can actually announce that now. Campbell Somerville. So we're going to have 3 guests who I all train to watch them all grow, all different stories: Taekwondo, boxing, wheelchair tennis. All 3 great people. So it's fantastic to have them here.
We've got one last question for Bailey Lewis. Bailey, this is from Carl Baker. Do you ever have a day where your body or mind says you cannot do it? And how do you overcome that rut?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm feeling right now. My body's, I haven't had a break in a while. I know you're meant to have a break, but I haven't had a break for about 2 weeks of training. And yeah, my body is starting to break down and feel a bit tired, a bit sick. But I guess what I do is I just taper down. Actually, one of the biggest things is when I'm feeling like this, I get a bit stressed out and I speak to my support group and say, you know, I don't feel like I'm training good. I feel a bit sick. And they just say, like, just relax, have a day off, like train a bit easy, just go in and hold mitts. So yeah, I try and listen to them and just take it easy when I'm feeling like this. Although it does stress me out because I just want to train as hard as I can all the time.
Or he says, I go, how you feeling? I feel sick. All right, then just don't come in.
Yeah.
Just rest. He's just like most guys, just got to rest your body. And he's training, man, for 3 hours minimum a day. And when you watch the video, watch how he kicks. It's just ridiculous. Kicking like that, moving like that. It's explosive movement in your sport. It's how long are the rounds?
It's 2-minute rounds, and you got 3 of them.
And it's full on. It's go. Once you're in the round, it's go.
Yeah, it's very intense. Even if you're not kicking, you're always very close to each other, like always ready to dodge because
it's all reaction. Yeah,
you're in that zone all the time where like you don't know if you're gonna get kicked, you don't know if they're gonna kick you. Yeah.
Any more questions? I mean, pretty much from my behalf, I think that he's one to watch. Really, as we said, we archive these footage. He's one to watch for the 2020 games in Tokyo. Hopefully I'll be there. Hopefully the company can pay. Can you just turn the camera around? No. Old man's there, so hopefully he can pay. So I will be going anyway, just because Bailey and Campbell, both of them, they've both known face. So I told, somehow I'll get there if I have to, what's it called? Oh, no, it won't work like that. I'll just get
hike.
G Wood, how you going? Hike. You can't really hike there, can you? So he's really one to watch. I mean, he's put in the work. Once again, with Bailey, I've just focused on if you're a Taekwondo athlete, what advice could you give? If there's a Taekwondo athlete watching Ask Woodford, what advice can you give a young kid who's coming through like you? What's the best 3 pieces of advice Bailey Lewis would give to a young up-and-coming Taekwondo athlete in Australia? 3 pieces of advice, go.
1,
yes.
Just keep training. Don't stop training. 2, doesn't matter how hard your opponent is, how good they are at the time, you keep training and you'll beat them. I guess that's the same as 1. And 3, 3, train at Woodford's.
Oh, I don't have to say that. That's very nice of you. Just quickly, is anyone you want to thank, while you're on this show, we've got a good audience, is anyone out there you want to thank, hint, your mother?
Yeah.
You want to thank, it's not just you, mate. Like, I know you've said this to me a million times. I've told you how proud I am of you.
Yeah.
But it's not, people don't understand, in an individual sport, it ain't just about you. There's so many people that goes behind the scenes that help you prepare and get ready. So anyone want you to thank? The camera's yours.
Yeah,
go.
Of course. I'll take the opportunity.
Yes.
Because I love to say thank you to the people that helped me most. So definitely my mum, thank you so much. Obviously I wouldn't be here. Very cliche, but it's true. Wouldn't be here without my mum.
Correct.
Wouldn't be here without my coach, Frank, obviously. And I definitely wouldn't be here without Christian. So thank you to you 3 guys. You helped me a ton. And I definitely
you got to thank your brother or your girlfriend at all? You got to thank your missus, surely.
Oh, thanks for putting up with me when I diet.
I met his missus for the first time. You got to understand, I've known since 15, so it's weird when they get girlfriends. And he goes, Christian, I got a girlfriend, brings her in. I'm like, she's actually quite, because to deal with, cutting, I've seen you're in the worst moods when you cut. Imagine dealing with that.
Yeah, I'm a pretty grumpy person. So thank you for
I'm like, can you eat a carb? No, I can't. No. And I think your mother and Frank's done a fantastic job. For me, on my back end, I just think that he's like, everyone loves you here. I think you're great to have around here. I think you'll go the next, we're hoping, next 3, 2020, 2024, 2028.
Well, if I don't win golds, I'll beat all of them, yeah.
No, but if you win gold, you told me you retire, correct?
Yep, correct.
So that's the idea, throwing it out there in the universe. If you win gold, you will retire.
Yes. Well, that's the plan right now.
Well, you don't really need to do. What else would you need to do? That's the pinnacle, really.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. So for him, once he wins it, that's it, and I respect that. Once you win, you hit the pinnacle of your sport. Isn't the pinnacle of your sport though going to the actual World Cup of Taekwondo as well?
Winning the World Championship is much harder, yeah, but winning the Olympics is better for like the community, the society. They think it's better. They think it's high. I can market it more.
Well, you market it more, you can develop your Taekwondo centre as well.
Correct.
I mean, he's a fantastic athlete, guys. Where can they get in touch with you if they want to know more about you, Bailey Lewis's?
Bailey Lewis, my Facebook, my athletes page, constantly posting on there.
Oh, you are constantly posting?
These days I am, yes.
Yeah.
Check out my cool videos that I make.
No, you actually not you made them. They're
Yeah.
pretty good, man. Thanks. So check out Bailey Lewis's Facebook page. He's a fantastic ambassador for Taekwondo. He's a fantastic kid. I'm proud to be his performance coach. I'm proud to be associated with him at Woodford. Guys, watch out for him in the next Olympics. Watch him coming through because he's next batch coming through. Give him support. Give him a like. I want to shout out to Marie, who's been fantastic for me personally and the Woodford brand. Always been a big supporter of me. Frankie's coach at City West Taekwondo. And of course, you guys for always watching and following myself. Guys, that's episode 2 of Ask Woodford with... Episode 22. Okay, episode 22 of Ask Woodford with Taekwondo Australian athlete Bailey Lewis, ranked number 1 Australian, number 21 in the world. He will rise up for further. Next week we have, once again, another Olympic, a future aspiring Olympic athlete going to the Commonwealth Games, Australian representative in boxing, 75 kilos, Campbell Somerville, on this exact show. We keep getting the guests, they keep coming, and we keep training them, and we keep making them better. I'll see you next week, episode 23 of Ask Woodford. See you guys next week.